from Kenosha, Wisconsin, and you got a taste of some Twitter hate the other night. Lakers, Bucks last night. Lakers were down by 20. I mean, I'm not sure if you grew up a Bucks fan or how much you care, but a simple observation got you in hot water last night.
Yeah, I don't even really root for any NBA team. I swear, this is an honest statement. I don't root for any NBA team. It was more I just like a good basketball game, and like Giannis and LeBron matching up, like if you're a basketball fan, like who doesn't want to see that? And I just made a simple observation, like, hey, this is like the Bucks look good tonight. Lakers look good too, but like, this is like a potential NBA Finals matchup. So I just taken in the game. I thought it was a great game, and that's really what I was going for. I caught some heat for it. It kind of hurt a little bit. It was a little sad. Like, hey.
Yeah, you got a little taste of what it's like for a closer, or if you go against the Lakers in LA, forget about it.
I wasn't even going against them. At the end of the day, like, hey, if the Lakers make it to the championship, I'm rooting for them. Like,
yeah.
I was just making an observation. It hurt a little bit.
How many Bucks games did you really watch growing up? The Bucks were not very good.
Yeah,
Come on.
Right, none. I don't think I really started watching any games until like last year with Giannis, because Giannis has a lot of hype, So I was like, oh, I'll go check him out. But really, I mean, God, I didn't even really watch the NBA growing up. To this day, I still don't really watch it too much. So,
do you hate the stereotypes that come along with being from Wisconsin? Like you eat brats, you love custard, and you ride a Harley.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah, cheese, beer, Budweiser. What is it out there? Miller.
Yeah,
Miller out
big,
there.
Yeah. There's a lot of stereotypes, and I feel like I am none of them. Like everyone's like, "Oh, you must love cheese curds. You must love beer. You must, drive a Harley." And
right.
I like none of those. I'm like, I'm not. I swear, I'm like the odd man out here. I'm not even. I feel like I'm not even from Wisconsin.
You're telling me when you go back home, the Lux family will not have brats on the stove. There will be no custard served. No cheese curds for appetizers on Christmas Eve.
I mean, there won't be any of that. I do like cheese curds. I'll give you that. I do like cheese curds. But none of that will be served at our Christmas. Honest to God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do the Lux what will the Lux Christmas be like?
God, I don't even know what we're gonna have this year. It's different every year. I think we'll see what my dad's gonna whip up in the kitchen here, but I'm sure it's usually some sort of steak or something along those lines.
Okay.
So probably
the standard,
nothing crazy.
So I was trying to tell you got to encourage the family to come to L.A. Get out
next
of that
year,
Milwaukee snow, right?
Yeah, next year that's got to be the play.
All right.
Because I got to go back tonight, so I'm not looking forward to stepping off that plane into the tundra, I guess.
Yeah, the frozen tundra.
I'm not looking forward to it.
You're a Packers fan, though, right?
I'm actually a Bear fan.
Bears.
So I grew up a Bear fan, but now it's like I just root for certain people I know or have a history with, or
okay.
So now it's more just.
Who do you have a history with?
Melvin Gordon, who's with the Chargers.
Oh, really?
We grew up in the same city.
Okay.
My brother-in-law is his cousin, so we.
Wow.
I see him.
That is a strong connection.
Strong connection. Malik Collins, who's with the Cowboys. So I mean, there's a couple guys. So I root for them, but I don't really keep up with, once again, the whole NFL too much. So it's more individually.
Because you're so good at baseball, it must have taken a lot of your time. Were you that type of kid that didn't watch much baseball on TV and you were just playing the game?
I watched a little bit. I definitely watched the playoffs a lot, because playoffs, obviously, it's a whole different game. So I watched all the playoffs always, and whenever I could, I would try to catch a game. But a lot of times I feel like I was so busy with other stuff, whether it be school or basketball or baseball practice, anything. I couldn't even really watch the games,
So you're another guy. See, you're making my point for me, because so many overzealous parents want their kids to play travel ball 24/7, 365. They think the kid is their meal ticket to whatever they want, and living through their kid. If you had advice for parents that had kids in Little League, what would be the best advice you could give it? Because you had an uncle that played in the big leagues, but it doesn't seem like your mom or dad would be the type to push you and force you to play.
No, not at all. They were super hands-off, and they kind of put me in everything at a young age, whether it was basketball, swim, football, baseball, gymnastics, whatever it was. They basically put me in every scenario where I could kind of get comfortable and figure out what I wanted to do. So for me, they kind of just, led me to different sports, and I kind of figured it out on my own what I wanted to do. And like my uncle played baseball professionally, and he was so hands off when I was young, and that he kind of didn't really start getting super hands-on until I told them, like, hey, this is what I want to do. So for me, my parents just let me do and figure it out on my own. So
why baseball over basketball?
I just loved baseball always. Like, it was always my number one. Basketball was like all my buddies played, and I loved playing basketball. Don't get me wrong, but I think baseball's always kind of had my heart, and my family has a history with it too. So I felt like I was carrying it on a little bit.
Yeah, I think you made the right choice.
Yeah, I don't know how basketball would have panned out for me there, but
were you quick? Did you have handles? What was Gavin Lux's?
I was
strong?
a shooter.
Okay,
I was a shooter.
Spot up white guy shooter.
Yeah, I could handle the ball pretty well. Our high school team had good competition too in the Milwaukee area.
Okay.
So we played pretty good teams, but yeah, I was a shooter. I would say I was a shooter.
So if we played horse, would I have a shot, or do you think you're better than I am at horse?
I'm definitely better than. No offense, David.
All right,
I could take you in horse.
All right, let's do it.
Hey,
some of
down.
these hotels we stay at got the basketball courts.
I'll be waiting on you.
All
I'll
right.
be down there ready with my basketball shorts on, maybe a tank top, a little headband, whatever you want.
Hey. I don't want to embarrass you. I'll bring my tank top
okay.
too.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Okay. It's done. Horse.
All right. Horse.
And we'll let people know what happens.
Perfect.
All right.
Stay tuned.
Okay, stay tuned. 866-987-2570. Before we go to the phone calls, Gavin will take your questions. If you want to call in and talk to Gavin Lux, he's in studio with us for another 15 minutes before he takes off for Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and then heads to Kenosha. But he has a YouTube channel right now, and you could see what Gavin's doing to put in the work, and that's pretty cool because, baseball players don't do that as much as NBA guys, and if you go to YouTube and type in Gavin's name, you'll find it, you'll see it, it's well-produced, and you got some music that really pumps you up. Tell us what this is all about right here. Let's go out to Kansas City, of all places. Eric's listening on the iHeartRadio app. We're global, Gavin,
yes,
over here.
That.
Yeah,
Big
global,
time.
yeah.
I love it.
You're on with Gavin Lux, Eric. What's up?
Hey, what's up? I'm from Paris, California. I was out here living in Kansas City, and I just wanted to ask Gavin Lux, what were the biggest things that helped you with strength and conditioning, just develop yourself as a player through the minor leagues and into pro ball?
Yeah, good question. God. For me, I was like a super scrawny. Even when I got drafted, I was like 170 pounds. So I kind of had to build that strength, that foundation to begin with. So I put on a lot of weight pretty fast, where I think when I got drafted, I was 170. Now I'm about 205 in that range. So it was a lot of just like your basic lifting, squatting, deadlifting, bench pressing, all that good stuff. But I did a lot of Pilates, yoga, and speed and agility work, where in baseball you kind of got to be well-rounded and you got to be able to stay healthy for 162 games. So it's not just all about how much weight you're throwing around, because you got to be able to move and be able to be flexible. And so for me, Pilates and yoga were huge also for me.
866-987-2570. Gavin Lux is in studio with us just for a few more minutes, so we have a couple of lines open. He is taking your phone calls tonight, and that was my follow-up to what you just said, Gavin, because I'm sure there's a balance where you want to put on the weight, but you don't want to get too tight where you don't have the flexibility as a baseball player.
Exactly, especially being a middle infielder.
Yeah.
You got to be able to move pretty well and cover some ground and be flexible, like you said. So if I was maybe a first baseman and maybe I would just throw around as much weight as possible, eat as much as possible, and just get as large as possible.
Yeah.
But being in the middle of the field, you kind of got to be able to move around, and so I got to be flexible and explosive, and got to be able to stay healthy too. So.
Speaking of being an athlete, Dave Roberts alluded to the fact if there are some changes to the roster, there may be a spot for you on the 26-man roster, maybe in the outfield. Have they approached you about that? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, not yet. No one's talked to me about it yet. For me, though, I mean, I don't care personally.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be able to get out there and help win in any way possible, and whatever role that is, great. I want to help this team win a championship. So for me personally, whether it's second base or outfield or wherever. Personally,
yeah,
I'm in game. I'm game for it.
The obvious elephant in the room is your name always being thrown out as far as teams wanting you, no matter who it is, whether it's Lindor, Betts, or the 30th guy on their roster. The first ask, it seems to be, is Gavin Lux. How do you view all that stuff? Is it nice to be wanted, or how do you view all these trade rumors that get out there publicly?
Yeah, I try to stay off.
Yeah,
and then not look at at too much of the hot stove and all the trade rumors and all that, because there's always a ton. But it's a compliment, I think. You take it as a compliment that you want to be wanted, and it doesn't really affect me personally. Like, I'm still just gonna put my head down and do my work, and I can't control whatever happens in that side of it. So you can't worry about it for me. Just kind of go about my day the same way I would have.
Yeah, you were at Dodger Stadium the other day, just taking ground balls. There's no speed bumps in your life when that happens.
No doubt about it. Just got to keep going.
And obviously the Dodgers think highly of you because you're still here. You're in studio with us.
That's right. Hey, here with you, buddy.
Yeah, right. This might be the one that seals the deal right here.
It. Come on, hey.
Friedman might not like that you're this close to me. Let's go out to let's see if we could fit in a couple of more calls. You got time, Gavin?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we'll stay 2 more minutes. How about that?
No worries.
Manny in Gardena, one of our loyal listeners as well. You're on with Gavin Lux. What's your question?
Honored and privileged, Mr. Lux. You are in the presence of the Dodgers royalty, David Vassegh. Hey,
now he knows you're lying.
Let you know, man, we are already, a fan base that loves you. I see you as our Rookie of the Year, next in a long line, and I just want to welcome you to L.A., my brother, and all the success to you and your family.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. That means the world to me. You guys are the best fans in baseball. So love you guys. That means a lot, man. I really appreciate it.
That should be the walk-off right there. That's a great phone call right there.
That made me feel really good.
Yeah. Washed away all the bad feelings from Twitter last night.
Yes. I feel so much better.
Yeah, people love you.
No sarcasm. Like, that was
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I think that's
awesome.
the consensus from Dodger fans. They love you, and I think baseball fans in general, especially here in L.A., they embrace their homegrown guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
It's one thing to bring a guy in for a couple of years, but that's been the history of the Dodgers going back to Brooklyn.
Sure.
Homegrown, they love Garvey, Lopes, Russell, Say, all that stuff. I'll give you the history lesson another time.
Yeah, please do.
Man, it meant a lot for you to come in studio. You're going to the airport now to go home for Christmas, so Merry Christmas to you, your family, your mom, Heather. She's a great woman, I could tell.
Saint.
Yes, saint. I mean, you turned out really well, and that's always a testament to the foundation at home.
Absolutely.
So I would say the Lux and Seegers are right up there as far as parents of Dodgers, the Bellingers, obviously.
No doubt.
A lot of good people.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in,
Awesome.
man. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Anytime.
Yeah, we'll do it again.